So, obviously, as the sheriff, you do a lot of things, and there's a lot of topics, and there's a lot of discussion. But the one thing that always comes up, boring as it may be, is that where you get accused of a very laissez-faire attitude towards drug enforcement, and one of the candidates running for sheriff said that your administration towards drug enforcement was a don't ask, don't tell. That was kind of your theme. That's what he says your theme is. With that said, your response, Sheriff Bob.
Okay, anyone who would think about running against me would grasp at that very, very weak straw of drug enforcement. So it's very expected that anyone who wants to criticize me or my administration can bring up their opinion about my drug enforcement policy. Over 24 years, my policy has unchanged. It is, if a credible person comes to us with evidence of, let's say, mercantile activity in contraband, drug dealing, to use the simple term. If someone comes to us and says, there's a guy next door to me dealing drugs, and they're credible, they're not the ex-business partner or the ex-wife, we open a case. Then we investigate it. If it leads to probable cause, we will seek an arrest warrant. In 24 years, roughly 5 people have come in and complained about commerce in contraband. 5.
24 years.
24 years. Now,
it's less years than I've had my car. 5.
We are laissez-faire in drugs and a lot of other things. We stop a lot of people for speeding, give them a verbal warning, send them on their way.
Let me thank you for that up front 3 times.
You're welcome. Now, if you got one of those tickets, your annual premium on your insurance policy would go up $400 or $500. In essence, we're out there running radar to benefit insurance companies' revenue streams. If my budget or the next sheriff's budget is slashed, and I've said we're not going to be able to salami slice our way out of this financial crisis. If the budget's slashed, I would recommend one of the first thing any police department does is stop doing all that traffic patrol, because evidence shows people drive at a speed they feel safe at based on their vehicle and the road. If you have a 4-lane highway like we do on 82, people are doing 10 and 15 over all day.
I have to admit I do that.
Well, if you go out there and start writing them tickets, you could boost some revenues from the tickets, but I'd never do that.
Okay, so let me ask you a different question since you mentioned that. I am a very big or very tough with DUIs. I am like, you might get your car back in 6 months if you're lucky, but if you get 2 of them, you better get a bus or live someplace where there aren't. It's just me. Reason, someone I know died, therefore, but that's kind of my things. What do you think about DUIs? I mean, what is your...
I'll tell you what I think.
Okay, good.
Statistically, a DUI is the biggest threat to your health and life in Pitkin County, statistically. So you're more likely to die at the hands of a drunk driver in a 5,000-pound pickup truck at 3 in the morning in your lane than you are being beaten to death or stabbed or shot. So what do we do about the biggest threat to our public safety and security? We aggressively enforce the DUI laws. The penalties have increased to a draconian level, not that I'm arguing against it. And the social stigma is still there, and it's increasing. So we enforce the DUI laws pretty healthily. We also have a free alternative, Tipsy Taxi.
Absolutely.
If you're not so drunk that you forgot about Tipsy Taxi, you can get a free ride anywhere in the valley by asking your cocktail waitress or your bartender or any peace officer for a Tipsy Taxi voucher.
Was that a product of your administration?
It was a product of Dick Keenest's administration, and Ellen Anderson, the emergency management coordinator, has been in charge of it since its inception. She's done a great job. There's no public funding. It's all donations.
Yeah.
All right.
Or
We
you
got to
said
wrap
you
this.
had a-
No,
gotta wrap?
no,
We
I'm
gotta
just
wrap?
got to be the bad guy. We got to wrap it up.
We got to wrap it up. Bob Braudis retiring after 24 years. Not retiring, excuse me, choosing not to run after
Not
24
running
years.
anymore.
Not running anymore. Not the title of his book. Sorry. You'll come back again maybe sometime?
I'd love
you're
to,
a good
Andrew.
guest.
If
We like
Mr.
you.
Cheney's here, I'll be more likely to show up.
Yeah, I
Because
understand
you're
that.
into
Thank you,
art,
sir.
you're into arts, and he is into the real world.
Well, yeah. You can tell by my pink shirt I'm into arts.
That's right.
But that's
And you
kind
can
of
tell
the way
by
it is.
mine that
Let's
I'm into
remind
the real world.
everybody, Susan G. Komen, Race for the Cure, cancer. Big problem. Argument made by George Karl, the basketball coach, that the federal government needs to start kicking some more money into that. We'll be talking about that at some date in the future. Right now, though, we're out of here.
Thanks to emu.com. Buy, sell, live, sing. I didn't get that memo, but I'm just going to take your word for it.
Ring.
Sing. Oh, ring. Okay. We appreciate you joining us. We'll be back next week at 9 o'clock right here on K-Snow at the Market. Have a great day, everybody.